we listen to the news?
Yeah, go and put the radio on.
Good afternoon. This is the lunchtime. This is the lunchtime news from This Is Not the BBC Sucks a Cox News, and I'm the artist taxi driver. The Prime Minister David Cameron has announced today that the government is to introduce some new legislation in the House of Lords. The House of Lords is to be divided into 3 conclaves: sex pests, rapists and paedophiles. Each conclave will have a leader from each party. Sex pests, rapists and paedophiles. The government has said it has created, this is other news, the government has said it's created 1 million jobs in the private sector.
Where?
You what? 1 million jobs? How? Where?
This is different.
Through workfare slavery programs involving people with cancer, the elderly, disabled. We fucking make jobs up as we go along. We sack people in the public sector and we create private sector jobs. This government is a statement here, this government said its primary purpose is to move public money into private pockets as fast as humanly possible. And it will do that by sacking, by making redundant the public sector and recreating those jobs in the private sector. It said today, the government said, nurses, teachers will be handed over to companies like G4S Private Security Company, G4S nurses, teachers, and the jobs, there will be more prisons. Yeah, nurses and teachers, there will be death camps.
This is a bit different.
Well, it's accurate though, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the FEMA camps and that they've got in America. I mean, obviously nearest to us is Newark.
Yeah.
Where they've got one there. It's the old RAF Newton base.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's why they changed it from a single carriageway into a motorway now, so that they can get you bussed in quicker.
Wow.
All right, let's listen some more.
Yeah, this is really interesting news. Never heard it like this before.
There will be schools, school death camps, and also termination hospitals.
Aren't there termination hospitals already?
Mm-hmm.
Nick Clegg, in a statement today, said that he was sorry and he knows and he admits that he's a dirty, disgusting, stinking, yellow-spined git who dropped his pants as soon as the Tories turned up so he could sit next to some royal parasitic wankers at the Olympics and pretend and to go on the LBC Ask Clegg and pretend to be authoritative. He's sorry to the mug students, and he said it with a smile on, with one of those things where you go,
big grin.
Ian Duncan Smith said today in a statement, the next time he sees a crying, unemployed, disabled teacher with 11 kids and a horse eating 39p IKEA muck meatball.
Ian Duncan Smith, isn't he in charge of Department of Work and Pensions?
Yeah.
I'm surprised the disabled people and the underprivileged and the poor haven't gone and, well, garroted him.
Well, they should do. But I remember there is actually some decent MPs. Michael Meacher, for one, in January, around the 18th, or something around there, actually had a go at the government about this, because using the government's own figures, Atos is responsible for over 10,600 deaths.
Really?
So,
Atos? They're the healthcare people.
Well, they're not healthcare, they're an IT company, but they pretend to be healthcare.
But don't the government pay them a lot of money? They're French
Millions,
company, aren't they?
Yeah. What you've got to remember is, you've got to look after your buddies, and even if they're in a different country, they're still in the same club together, so they like to slide each other nice big chunks of money, and then claim it's for the benefit. Well, how about this? Rather than pay Atos any millions of pounds, they give it to the people that need it, the ones that they're trying to kick off these schemes that they're trying to put on. Because if you're ill, did you hear about it? I think in Nottingham we've got one, haven't we? She's got a week to live.
Yeah, she's dying of cancer.
Yeah, she's got a week to live, and they said she's perfectly fit to work.
She had to go back to work last Monday. She got a week to live, 7 days to live.
It's a piss take. Absolute piss take.
It seems like, the question is, do we have a bunch of psychopathic criminal liars in government?
Well, that's all. We found out they're all paedophiles anyway. I mean, you name it. The top cops are paedophiles, the top judges are paedophiles, the top MPs are paedophiles. You only get in their club if you molest and rape children.
Well, that's disgusting. So the artist taxi driver is actually reading the correct news.
Yeah, this is the real news. This is how the news should be said.
And that's us a private company.
Yeah, of course
that the government pay. I thought we've got the NHS trust in England, so why should we need a private healthcare?
Because the idea is to make healthcare private, and then you've all got to pay for it. They're already selling it off.
Begging for a job, he's going to send them to Sue Riders. She said, Ian's he's out trying to scrape, he's having to eat a £39 fucking breakfast, while these fucking gits won't even eat a 39p fucking muck meat meatball. Mark Carney, the new head of the Bank of England, said he was enjoying his £1 million house from taxpayers. He was particularly enjoying the grandiose...
Mark Carney, wasn't he in charge of Goldman Sachs?
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
Chandeliers, and he said that the servants were great. And he even said at the end of the statement that he will be selling the property at the end of his job for a profit when he leaves. And he said, I can't fucking believe you've given Mark Carney access to the fucking printing presses of the English pound. Didn't you know I work for Goldman Sachs? Do you not know? Do you not even know who I am? Do you not even know who I am? Mark Carney added, George Osborne, he has not got no qualifications whatsoever in economics or maths, not a HND or a night school certificate.
But George Osborne, isn't he the Lord High Chancellor that's supposed to be in charge of all the finances of the UK?
He's the treasurer, what is he,
He's a treasurer as well.
Yeah,
Lord Chancellor.
Well, if there was a programme actually put out by the BBC, the other paedophile corporation, of course, and they put it out, and it was The Revolution Will Be Televised, where they actually tried to give him the first year maths exam, and of course he couldn't understand it, so he quickly skirted off and slipped away.
I wonder how he got the job then. You remember the Bullingdon Club when
yes,
David Cameron, Boris Johnson, and George Osborne were all mates at university,
going around rioting, smashing pubs and restaurants.
80s,
I remember that.
Everything, didn't they?
Did they get sent to prison for that?
No, of course not.
Oh, I'll tell you something that a member of the Good F site actually pointed out. This was a few months back.
This is getoutofdebtfree.org.
Yeah, a member of the site pointed out that the Chris Huhne thing that's just gone off, he's got sentenced to 8 months, and it looks like he'll do about 6 weeks. He actually made a bet with us. He says, I bet you he doesn't get more than 12 months, because if he gets more than 12 months, you can no longer be an MP. But of course, he got 8 months. And here, get this, that was because he pleaded guilty. If he pleaded innocent, he pleaded not guilty, he would have got 9 months. Oh, still just under that 12-month bracket, innit? So does that mean that he's going to be an MP again, even after being in jail? Although, to be honest...
It does seem is it a requirement to be a psychopathic murdering liar to be an MP?
Well, it would seem so.
And to rape children as well?
Oh, well, that goes with the territory.
It seems you have to be a child rapist to be in government or in the House of Lords or number 10.
Well, any company that seems to be in charge of anything, them at the top are paedophiles.
He's a fucking idiot! And you get me, Mark Carney, from Goldman Sachs, in charge of the fucking printing press and a fucking band, and you fucking stupid! You give me £1 million fucking house so I can come and help steal your fucking money?
It's not real.
What kind of fucking ignorant fucking idiots are you? You fucking deserve it! You deserve it! You fucking deserve it! Italy voted in their recent election for a comedian called Pepe Grillo. He's a citizen activist with a group called 5 Star. He got 25% of the vote. Think about that in your nut. Think about that. Citizen activists has started a party.
So if he got 25% of the vote and he got in, that means 75% of the population don't want him in.
Or didn't want him. It's a bit like when Tony Blair got in.
Yeah, yeah.
Less than 25% of the entire nation
While
voted.
we're actually talking about Tony Blair, the great guy that he is, you know, the politician of all politicians. And
Fabulous man.
He actually moaned that 10 years after the Iraq War, where he killed millions of men, women and children, that people are still calling him names about it. Well, I think they'll be calling him names until he leaves this planet. But here's something you might not know. Tony Blair got caught just before he became Prime Minister, got caught in public toilets propositioning another man for sexual favours. Turned out the man happened to be an undercover cop. Guess what? It never went into the papers because he used one of his middle names. So, well, there you go, didn't know that. Back in, I think it was the 70s or the early 80s, Gordon Brown, another Prime Minister, him and two of his mates raped a 14-year-old lad. And of course, when you're in with the ones that control the police, you're in with the ones that make sure that never goes to court.
Have you heard these stories about the people high up in the police who are also child rapists and paedophiles?
Yeah.
So who do you go and report it to?
They're all in it together.
You report paedophiles to paedophiles.
Yeah. That's how come there's never any prosecutions.
It's ridiculous. What else has he got to say?
In other international news, a rocket was fired from Gaza. Those dirty fucking Palestinians fired a rocket, and it's fucking headline news. Third story on the BBC website.
It's that to me almost sounds like they're trying to make the those living in Gaza as the bad ones, and the ones that will no doubt have retaliated with massive amounts of force as the good guys.
Yeah.
Do you not think that that's almost like the news are trying to dictate a story they want us to believe?
It seems like somebody's trying to they'll bend the words or try and to manipulate others.
It would seem that way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely seem that way.
Those fucking kids! What, we've been kidnapping their fucking kids? We've kidnapped half the fucking Gaza and the fucking West Bank Palestinian kids. We've been fucking systematically murdering them. We're slowly committing genocide. And they got a fucking temerity to fire a rocket? A fucking homemade rocket? It's fucking outrageous. And the BBC and fucking William Hager's come out. He's come out. He's had to fucking pull out a fucking going on about fucking John Kerry and fucking that fucking Hillary fucking Clinton, and come over and said, those fucking Palestinians, we've warned them. We fucking warned them. We've done nothing but kidnap their kids, murder them, fucking commit terrorism, and they fire a rocket. The police have said they're looking into Lord Rennard.
Lord Rennard? Do you know anything about Lord Rennard? What's he been accused of?
I'm not sure. What do you know?
I can't remember. Wonder what Chunky Mark's got to say.
He's a pitcher, said a police commissioner. He's a pitcher. He never raped anyone. He never even had sex with a corpse. Who do you think he is? Jimmy
Savile. So he's been accused of necrophilia, has he?
Did you see that posting of what I think it was yesterday or the day before, where a paedophile got let off by probably a paedophile judge, because I think it was like something like a 7-year-old girl or boy, I can't remember, had come on to him.
Oh, you're joking. This is disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, 6-7-year-olds, they really know about sex and really come on to blokes, don't they?
I'm sure they would, yeah.
And as a decent bloke, you should say no, even if that happens.
Sorry. I switched it.
Give the guy a break. He touched a couple of legs. Jesus Christ, he's a fucking sex pest. The guy's a sex pest. Nick Clegg never no one investigated a women's thing. Now they're saying, oh, it's a bit dodgy bringing it up in the middle of Eastleigh. Fucking hell, why didn't you tell us about it like, it's a bit bad timing. Fucking sling your hook. In sport, this is the sports news for today.
Sports?
Grand Prix chief Bernie Ecclestone said he wanted the streets of Bahrain cleared of any protesters. He wants them either jailed or fucking dead. He said David Cameron's been out there fucking selling weapons. What the fuck have you been doing with them?
David Cameron. I heard that David Cameron was working for a company called General Dynamics, who sell guns, weapons, tanks, missiles and ammunition to other countries.
So again, that seems to come down to the fact it's all us in the same club together, working for all us in the same club together to screw you over and give countries weapons. Oh, you just look at Iraq. You've got Rumsfeld going over there supplying him with gas, poisonous gas.
Yeah.
And then, when they want to invade Iraq, they say they've been using poisonous gas on the Kurds.
And they sold it.
Exactly.
And Cameron's going. I mean, he was in India and he's been to Thailand. He's been all over the planet the last few years. They're just making money for General Dynamics.
Yeah.
I think you should look into that, everybody. You know, General Dynamics. Have a look up.
Get out and start fucking electrocuting and killing those fucking Bahraini protesters. We don't want them on the streets. Asked for comment, Lewis Hamilton said, I don't care. I get paid millions not to care. Basically, I'm a prostitute for dead Bahrainis. You give me £1 million, I'll drive my car in. I'll drive my fucking car over them.
What?
The weather.
Oh. This should be good.
The weather is shit. It's freezing, it's fucking cold, and metaphorically, it's fucking dark outside. It's dark. And we have a government, we have a fucking society, we have a heart of fucking darkness. It's a permanent fucking cloud. It's constant fucking pissing rain, freezing cold, miserable, fucking shit fucking weather. And it's a metaphor. When is it ever gonna stop fucking raining? That's the lunchtime news from the BBC. Sucks a cock news. I'm the artist taxi driver.
Now, that's a news story I can agree with.
Artist taxi driver, me and Ceylon, we love you. Spot on, mate. Keep up the good news, the real news.
Just one other thing. Did you see that post recently where there's an English bloke living in Belgium and he's given the UK government chance to return his child to him? And he's put the paperwork together, and basically the British UK government are complicit in paedophilia. And there's a warrant out for it, and it's all coming out that the government they're all paedophiles. Well, child-stealing paedophiles.
If the government are psychopathic, murdering, lying, psychopathic paedophiles, and so are all the majority of the House of Lords and those in number 10 and all the government, the police and everything, who are you going to report these crimes to? Because if you can't report to the police, if the police are child fiddlers...
Well, what you've got to remember is the constables...
What are we going to do about this, people? What are we going to do, Ceylon?
The constables are actually, most of them, there are some bad ones, but most of them are actually there, and they joined up to do a good job to protect and serve.
Serve and protect.
But, of course, the real good ones, they're being pensioned off, and they want these bully boys to come in, and ones that probably were bullied at school, and they think, I've got some authority now, I've got to bully them people back. So there are some good cops out there, and we do need the good cops.
Oh yeah, I mean, most definitely, we need the good police.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job. They have to put up with some right shit. The only thing I don't agree with is them being forced to try and ticket you for everything. You drop a piece of litter. I don't agree with littering, but you drop a piece of litter, and they go and ticket you. There's a 50 quid fine. In fact, weren't we reading earlier in a certain book? The very first part of it. There it is. Yeah, I'll grab that.
Yeah.
What would we read? What does it say? The first part.
Police Operational Handbook. And we should make another video about this because it.
Well, yeah, we will do.
It goes on about. But the first part is instant resolutions, and what the police learn to do first. Police Operational Handbook is fix penalty notices. Yep. You can get it yourself. Blackstone's Police Operational Manual, Practice and Procedure. But we'll make another video about that. Anyway, so if the government...
The top government...
The top government, if the majority of them are psychopathic, murdering, lying, child rapists, and nobody seems to be really doing much about it, and it's all carrying on, people of Great Britain, are you going to do something about this? Because we've mentioned this before, the artist taxi drivers talking about it. Even the BBC are reporting on themselves now, with the Jimmy Savile and Lord whoever this week has messed about with some children. It's not right, is it?
If you're paying a TV licence, you're paying for the likes of Jimmy Savile to go around and rape and molest children all over the place. And there's a load more in the BBC, all the common purpose lot in there. They're all paedophiles. And if you're paying for that, you're supporting it.
So how come they're getting away with it scot-free?